What's up, Kangen fans? It's time for the latest chapter review for Star Strike It Rich, chapter 32, and with no title, obviously, because Star does not do title. They don't name their chapters. I don't know why. Either way, we have gender bend Dr. Hanafusu, known as Anne, as Sakurai Anne, and she's a little nuts. You could tell already from last chapter and stuff like that, but she's a little batshit crazy. So she's not lured in by money or promises or anything like that. She's like, you have to give me some kind of different bait. Now she does bring up Nozomi's eyes and says, listen, your eyeballs. No other doctors have noticed, have they? Why don't you give me your eyes? You know, I like your eyes sort of idea. And I'm thinking, you know, is there more to... Like, once again, if she's in full fighting form, is she going to be sort of a match, maybe, for Hina? Who knows, right? So I was a little intrigued by this, right? So she's like, and she's got the split snake tongue, the whole bit. She's trying to be Lord Voldemort meets Dr. Hanafusu. She's all over the map. And then she immediately just, she's not swayed by it or whatever. And she's just like, you know, I still want to see, still into my eyes, so... How about you want to research immortality? Well, our primary weapon, you know, our main Star Strike It Rich, is the daughter of the Army of God's supreme leader. So, wouldn't you like to hear everything that she has to tell you, sort of idea? You can have unlimited access to her, blah, blah, blah. And then she immediately just starts going into a bit of a whirlwind, like, that does. She was the leader's daughter. She must know more about the doctrine than anybody. From a medical angle, a religious angle would be another one. An angle of faith, oh my god. And then she goes into complete Kiryu Setsuna mode and goes, intriguing indeed. If I were biologically male, I promise my meat would be positively rigid. And it's like, okay, so that means, assuming... I was going to say, I assume her panties are quite wet right now, but I'm questioning what if she's wearing any at all, or if what she does wear down there. I don't want to think about it. She's kind of freaking me out a little bit, just a little bit. Either way, yeah. The fact that she didn't go to the immediate, you know, oh, this is making me so wet, you know, like she literally said, if I were a male, I'd be erect as fuck right now, you know? And it's just like, okay, so then what are you? Why didn't you just describe the way you... Is something not working down there? Like, I'm just... Yeah, never... I don't think we want to know, is my point. She's kind of freaking me out. And no shit, because Nozomi goes on and says, Anne suffers from thanophobia. So, Thanato... not Thanto. Thanato. So, from Thanatos, in Greek mythology and lore and stuff like that, the son of Nyx, basically the personification of death in, you know, religions or mythologies and such, right? It's only a mythology because not enough practicing people anymore, right? So, anyways, eventually Christianity will be a mythology. Just you wait a few more thousand years. Point is that, so she suffers from basically she has a phobia of death. She's absolutely terrified of death. But she was born incredibly smart. And her dramatic fear of death gripped her ever since she was a kid, ever since that they sort of knew her, right? Even as far back as middle school, high school, that kind of idea. So, trying to escape her fear, she said, I'm going to become a doctor, I'm going to figure out stem cell research, how cells reproduce, all this stuff, right? She went into the medical field, which... honestly, that is where you would go. You would go into the research and the medicine and the medical field to try to find your answer. And she made it into the top med school, but she apparently started snatching stolen corpses and trying to revive them like necromancy level shit. And so now she cannot practice medicine whatsoever, regardless of her prowess or her credentials or whatever. She is not able to do that anymore. And I'm like... yeesh, how is she not arrested already? So, you know, either way, she agrees to help out at this point. So they share a couple of beers, and they're like, oh yeah, so Ichika and Hana will be glad you're there too. And they're like, oh yeah, well, haven't seen them in a while either. This is when she also offers, just on the fly. Now, once again, if this was happening in Omega, people would criticize it. But since it's happening in Star Strike and Rich, everyone's going to be like, oh, this is great. Because it comes out of nowhere. It comes out of left field. And it's just like, hey, by the way, you're detached. I'll fix your eye. Yeah, don't worry about it. I can fix it. You can fight again. No big deal. The fact that 32 chapters have gone on and she never thought the entire time to maybe go to her crazy doctor who is a top med student, who is crazily good at medicine, fear of death and stuff like that, who maybe she could do something about her eye, like she didn't go and get a second opinion from one of her former classmates, one of her supposed close friends, who is a mad genius of a doctor and didn't think maybe, hey, can I still fight, or is this permanent? And it just comes out of nowhere. And the fact is, not that Nozomi brings it up and says, oh, by the way, now that that's all settled and I'm going to come work for you, your eye, problem, right? Yeah, I'll fix it. No big deal. Don't worry about it. I can fix it. It's looking really bad. Don't worry about it. I'll fix it. And Nozomi's like, wait, you serious? My doc told me that all I had to do was, I have to quit fighting and blah, blah, blah. And she said, yeah, any legitimate doctor would tell you that. But let's assume a detached retina isn't necessarily incurable. There have been a number of fighters who have made a comeback after the same setback. And we've seen that, of course, in Kengan and stuff. So the whole detached retina thing is like, okay. It's ideal that maybe we can do a very, sort of invasive or dangerous surgery. We can fix it up and stuff. Granted, you're still susceptible to, if it happens again, you might be permanent next time. You know what I mean? If you continue to fight in that condition, even if we fix it and heal it, you can go back to fighting, but we do not recommend it, sort of idea, right? So either way, it's like, yeah, it is a completely severe thing, and you take risks, going forward. She immediately agrees, give me the operation. She shows up next. She's there with Ichika, so the whole gang's back together. The three of them, you have Hana, you have Ichika, and Nozomi, and then she's already there with an eye patch, and Anne's there, and everyone is like, hey, it's been a while, yeah, it's been a long time, and everything like that. So they're all getting reacquainted. They show off the new, in the Babel Tower, they show off the underground floor and stuff like that. Like, look, we've made this place a monster arena. It's going to be jam-packed. It's fantastic. And I was like, whoa, this is impressive and stuff. It's like, yeah, we actually have all this unused space, even with this grand arena with all the right, positioned stands and stuff like that, which I'm sure that, like any arena, they charge more money for front row seats, sort of idea. But they're like, yeah, we can get some casinos in the back. We can get the clan involved. We're solid. We're going good. We got a jumbotron. We got everything. Just absolutely everything. So, boom, it doesn't even look like it's a big deal to keep it, hush-hush or anything like that, because it's a legitimate tower, and they just end up going. They know what basement number they're going to. It's off the books. It's off the record. And then we run into that crazy bitch with the star under her eye, and she's just like, if this turns out to be a blasphemous way to her divine works, I'm going to tear this entire Valkyria place down to the ground. And she's just fucking out to lunch. I can't stand creepy lollies. I can't stand lollies in the first place, but then when they're made to be creepy, then they have shitty haircuts, and they have cup bangs, and their eyes are black as pitch, and they have a stupid face tattoo, and I could go on and on and on, but point is, so, yeah. That is the end of the chapter. We're all set up. We have a ringside doctor. Nozomi now has an opportunity to maybe enter the ring once again. Once again, very dangerous for her to do so, but she can now do it, of course, according to manga logic. We've already set up the whole new place and stuff like that. People are healing. We're good to go. We are good to go now. We've established Anne's character as being another Dr. Hanafusu, with a bit of a slight twist in the angle a little bit, which is nice to sort of differentiate one crazy doctor from the other one, sort of idea. If we're going to have gender bend, Dr. Hana literally is, if you were to draw fan art gender bend Dr. Hanafusu and would come out. So that was no trying. Nobody tried with this one, right? That being said, adding the fear of death is incredibly going, okay, we're going to have two crazy doctors obsessed with tinkering with bodies, but we're going to take it from a totally different perspective as the reason as to why, you know? And that, I hope, is going to situate and differentiate them enough going forward into the series. So, anyways, that's it from me, guys. That was chapter 32. Sorry it was so late. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And we'll be back here for chapter 33 of Strike It Rich. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one. Sayonara.